3. We are back with Deep October. So shit, fucking, your music a lot, taps into a lot of emotions. Like we were just talking off camera a little bit. You get a lot of DMs from people. You know what I mean? Like your song. This is my favorite song right now. This song helped me through the day. This song prevented me from killing myself. So, I mean, we don't have to go too deep into. We can go as deep as you want, but mental health. Does a lot of your music and a lot of things you sing about come from your own personal experiences with mental health?
Oh yeah, 150%, bro. I come from a lineage, bro, a very mentally ill family, and so like genetically, like I was pretty disproportionate, pretty fucked in that sense of like and I also have a very mentally ill father, and I love him to death, but like he was a big influence for me in my early childhood, and like I always looked up to him, and like, but the thing is I never really realized like I looked up to him in a sense of like, and it kind of made me like not realize like the personal issues that he had going on until I got older, and I realized I started having those issues, and I realized I kind of idolized some of the wrong things about my father. And but besides that, like yeah, dude, all my music 100% comes from my personal experiences. I wouldn't be able to like just make up the shit that I talk about. And I think that's like what makes my music so genuine, is that, and like, and people feel that when they listen to it, is that like I'm not just saying this shit just because like just to glorify anything, bro, because, and at least I try to like make sure in my music that I let people know is like, this is something I'm struggling with. It's not something I'm happy about. It's not an aesthetic. It's not something that I'm trying to like influence you to also go through. It's just like I want people to understand that like I feel the exact same way that they do. And like with that being said, bro, is like actually yesterday, as a matter of fact, on my Instagram I posted about this on my story, was I followed a lot of my fans back, just because like,
talk about this.
Yeah, I just wanted to like, cause like I have all these people supporting me. It's like I just realized the social media shit is so fickle, bro. It's like why not follow back my supporters, like, and so I did. So I followed a lot of them back, but also like me doing that made me realize that a lot of them are like also very mentally ill, and not a lot of them, but some of them.
There's a portion of them.
Yeah, a portion of them are very mentally ill as well, but they tend to romanticize like suicide and shit like that. And I realized that like I tend to attract some people like that, and I hate it, bro, because especially like with like the subculture that we have now of people who are depressed, there's a lot of people that romanticize the idea of like wanting to kill yourself, and it's honestly disgusting to me, bro.
Yeah.
Like that shit. Yeah. Like I don't resonate with that energy. Like I just want people to know that like I don't at all like promote shit like that. Yeah. And I've been trying to change that throughout my music and let people know that like, shit gets worse, but shit does also get better at the same time. So like and I don't welcome that energy at all. And it's also it also manifests into real life as well. There's a lot of people that I've met in real life just through music that hit me up, and they're like, yo, like I would love to meet you for whatever reason. A lot of times it's girls, because obviously I'm going to put more effort into go meeting a female than I am.
Trust me, I'm the same way.
Yeah. So, but like, it's like most of them are just like, it actually hurts me, bro, because like I'll ask them things like things that they want to do, and like what their aspirations are, and like shit that they like think about all the time, and they're always so nonchalant, and they just don't care. Like they're okay with just existing with like the mental shit that they deal with, and I can't accept that, bro. Like
yeah, you shouldn't accept that.
No, you can't. Like I'm always striving. I'm always striving to like get better, because I struggle with the shit that I go through, and like I can't imagine just sitting there and taking it, bro. Like, and because sometimes it feels like I have to, and that shit hurts, and like, and it like puts me, and it drains the fuck out of me when I meet some of my fans, bro, because like they're so negative, and they're so like, not all of them, not I don't mean this at all for all of them, but like some of them just tend to be so like nihilistic towards shit, and like, and they think, and like, yeah, it's true, like I do agree that like we literally are just like here to live then die, but like you cannot like just let that be the moral of the story, bro. And so yeah, just ultimately like I just want to be kind of like, I'm not a therapist by any means, like I can't, I'm not good at talking to people about their problems because I have my own, but ultimately like I want to promote the idea of getting better from this shit and not getting worse. I like some people are like, it's like an aesthetic for them. It's like they're comfortable feeling the way that they feel about shit, and it's like I can't accept that. I can't do the same. So
what are some ways that that you're working on your own mental health? Like, what are some ways you're working to get better?
Like the stopping of drug use for sure, including weed, bro, which I since I was 14 or 13 years old when I first started smoking weed. Like, it's like an everyday thing. I think I started smoking weed daily when I was 17, when I moved out of my mom, so I was able to do that. And like, thing is, like, I thoroughly enjoy, like, I thoroughly enjoy doing drugs, bro. But the thing is like, I've like seen how it's affected me over time, and like I really want to get to a point to where like I don't need drugs to just cope with life every single day. So yeah, one thing I've been trying to do is like cutting back on like how much substance I put into my body, which I still have. I do have a very addictive personality, so like that's a hard thing for me. Another thing is like I try to limit what I consume, especially through social media, because social media, it's and like platforms like Twitter and shit tend to be like all negative, and whenever you're consuming that shit all day every day, like it's gonna bury itself in your subconscious, and your subconscious controls everything around you.
Absolutely.
And like people don't realize that, just like how powerful your brain is. And so I try to limit the negativity and that I consume through social media, which is a big reason I only followed like 200 people for a really long time on social media. Or on Twitter, I only follow like 80 people, because like I cannot constantly consume that negative shit.
Yeah.
I've been trying to change my diet a little bit, because I do think that like the things that you eat, that you put into your body, have a big effect on how you think.
Definitely affect your mood.
Yeah,
definitely,
for sure. I grew up like pretty poor, like, so like I'm not like, so I, for the most part, I grew up almost always eating fast food. It was just easy. It was the easiest thing for my family to do.
Yeah,
was like to eat fast food. So like I kind of like am like addicted to fast food, bro. I eat fast food way too much. But I like, as I got older, I could feel like eating all this shitty ass food, just like how much it, like how like it affected my mood.
Yeah,
and shit.
It's like, bro, if you wake up and you eat an orange and some eggs every day, you're gonna feel much better than you wake up and you eat
it's
at
weird,
McDonald's.
bro. Yeah, no, it's weird, but
you know?
it's weird how that shit works.
And it goes back to affecting your psyche and your mental health and your mood.
Right. I mean,
you know?
like, we're human beings, bro. Like, so we are animals. Like, in the grand scheme of things, like, and all this like unnatural shit that we eat is like, obviously, it's like our brain is gonna react unnaturally to it. I try to practice like spirituality when I can, but the thing is, I do tend to be kind of pretty atheistic towards a lot of things. So it's
I'm
like,
the same way.
Yeah,
I get it.
Yeah. So it's a struggle for me to like be spiritual, but I think meditation is a really big thing that I suck at. I'm not very good at meditating on a daily basis.
See, it's like I mean, because I've said it on the podcast before, you guys watched the Israelites interview, the Black Israelites interview. I was open about it. I'm an atheist, but like I do believe in energy to an extent. Like there are just some things that you can't explain, because energy is a real thing. You go to concerts, there's certain energy that's there. Like even when we linked up, you know what I mean, when you came here, we just started talking. Right. There's good energy, but there's some people you link up with them, it's not a conversation right away because the energy's not there.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, because I'm also an atheist, and I have been since I was like in the 8th grade. But the thing is like I've learned over time, just through like reading about like other atheistic like ideas, which like one of the big things for me was like whenever I started really studying Buddhism, which like doesn't take gods into account, and it's more so like the energy of human beings and like the words we use and how that shit affects, and like the general laws of like magic, like Aleister Crowley type shit.
Yeah.
Which also I don't get deep into because that's a fucking rabbit hole. But like the thing is like I do believe that like Magicka, just like for lack of better words, like I do think that there's natural laws in the universe that we as humans are able to control, that like that isn't necessarily known to science. And so like I think that like the words you use and because energy, like it is like energy can't be created or destroyed, like that's a scientific thing. And I do think that like the energy that you put out and like the vibrations as a human being that you put out is what is going to be reciprocated back, because I think that there's always something, whatever it is. And I felt it on acid a lot, bro. It's like it's weird whenever I'm on acid, bro, like it's like I can literally feel something, some type of greater energy, not necessarily God, but just something is like telling me like, yo, like you need to watch like the shit you say. You need to like watch like how your thoughts are, because whenever you're constantly drowned in those negative thoughts, bro, like I see it in real time. And it attracted into my life, and that's what I was talking about with the music shit. Is that like I tend to like attract some really negative energy into my life, because like I use my music as a way to cope, and like I try to get that shit out through my music, and so other people reciprocate that, and unfortunately it does bring some of that negative energy back. But I've had a lot of fans reassure me, it's like, no, like it doesn't do that for me at all. Like for me, like I'm speaking from like a fan standpoint, like they tell me like when I listen to your music, it's like I feel less alone. It doesn't make me like feel like I want to kill myself. Like it makes me like just feel like damn, like this, like there's other people going through it too. And it's basic shit, bro. It's the most basic form of like human communication, is like feeling that someone else is also going through the same thing. But loneliness is one of like the hardest feelings to get through. So
definitely.
So that's why music is so important in that aspect.
I love that you brought up, because a lot of people don't want to admit it, and it took me a while. It actually took me until last week to admit it. When you're dealing with depression and stuff like that, and you're getting off drugs, it's got to include weed. A lot of people don't want to admit it.
No, bro, they don't.
And I didn't either. Like I said, literally until last week, when I started speaking with a therapist and shit. When I started like trying to take my mental health seriously, that I use. I'm not saying weed is bad. I'm saying we use it as a crutch and a coping mechanism. My relationship with weed came more or less that trying to enjoy myself and have a good time, and more or less to try and get through the day. And it suppresses feelings, you know what I mean? And
For
it's
sure.
very unhealthy.
Yeah, no, I was the same way, because I also see a psychologist, and I would always, it wasn't until my most recent one that she kind of strayed away from the talking about weed, because anytime they would like bring up like maybe you should stop smoking weed, I would always get defensive, bro. I'd always be like no, like I promise you that's not what the problem is. And so like I had to take it upon myself to like make myself be completely sober, like even from weed, bro. Because the thing is, I would always tell people like, yeah, like I've been sober for this long, but the thing was, I was still smoking weed every single fucking day.
Yeah.
So like, it's like in reality, was I actually sober that whole time? I don't think I've ever actually been sober because of that. So like, and it's hard, bro, especially whenever, because I don't know, how long have you been smoking weed?
9 years.
Yeah, bro. And whenever, especially when you're so young and you start, like your brain develops around having those cannabinoids constantly in your body. So like it's hard, bro. It's like people say like you don't get withdrawals and shit from it, but you do, bro. I know I get withdrawals from
weed withdrawals, because I mean, I'm gonna admit it, and I'm gonna be completely open on this podcast, and I feel like we both should be, because I feel there's a lot of people watching this that might get something out of it. I've been completely sober for 5 days now.
This is also day 5 for me, so shouts out to you.
Well, shouts out to you too. I'm glad we started at the same time, man. Yeah, that's interesting. Real. But I was alcoholic, bro. I was functioning alcoholic, and I didn't want to admit it. I remember being home a couple months ago and talking to my family about just smoking weed and shit. Like, yeah, but I'm not really a drinker and shit like that. But it's just like I realized, like, bro, you say you're not a drinker, but you drinking a bottle of wine a day type shit, right? Bro, like the weed, like. I feel like shit right now. Like this current state, like the alcohol withdrawals are fucking killing me, dude.
I bet.
Like fucking, I feel just nauseous all the time. Like I feel like I'm gonna pass out. Like I have a crazy headache. It is just like because your body becomes dependent on the substance. The weed withdrawals ain't nearly as bad as anything else. So the weed withdrawals more or less just like, man, I just kind of want to smoke. Like you know what I mean? It's got urge to smoke.
For me, the weed. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you good. You good. That was pretty much it anyway.
The weed withdrawals for me, bro, has a lot to do with one. Okay, so like sometimes I tend to because like I do experience depression pretty often. It's up and down, but like I tend to mistake my boredom sometimes for being depressed, just for that stagnant feeling. And a lot of times, like the thing is, I've never. This is my biggest struggle so far with not smoking weed at all. Is all my music has been made on some type of drug, but weed was always the constant. It was always the one that no matter what, even if I was on Adderall or I was on a perk or I was on Molly when I recorded something, I was still on weed too. And so like now that I'm not smoking weed, it's been really like weird for me trying to make music. And that's one thing that's like trying to drive me back is like, like just smoke once and that way you can make the song. But the thing is like I'm pretty determined now to learn to like make music without smoking, because the thing is like as I've gotten older, bro, like there's been more cons with being high all the time. And the thing is, like, I know like eventually I will probably go back to smoking weed, but I want to get to a point to where I don't feel like I have to smoke every
I'm
fucking
the same way.
day, bro.
I know I'm gonna go back to smoking it, but I want to go back when I feel like I can have a healthier relationship with it.
Facts, bro. And like the thing is like when I get high, bro, I get super antisocial. Like it's weird. Like if I get too hot, and like not everyone's like this, not everyone experiences the same thing. Like
because drugs affect everybody in different ways.
Facts, but like it really fucks with like. There's been so many opportunities that like I've missed out on just because I was so high that I convinced myself like you'll get that opportunity later. One of those opportunities was whenever I was in Atlanta at that Iced Out Angels show. Is like the whole time I was there, which I wasn't only fucked up on weed during that, but weed was definitely one of the culprits for like not really like talking to people. There were so many people at that show that my friends were there talking to and like linking up with, but like my social anxiety from being so high, I decided not to talk to anybody. And now all those people are getting like they were like the same size as me a few months ago, and now they're like huge. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, bro, like that's an opportunity that I squandered for myself because I decided just not to be social. But it's like, bro, if you get to a point where you have to fucking list out pros and cons of doing something, then there's a problem, bro. Like you shouldn't have to list out pros and cons. So
I feel you 100%, bro. 100%. And it's like I kind of like even with seeing a therapist or a psychiatrist or all these other different terms for mental health people, I really didn't even believe in that shit until like last week.
Me neither.
Really didn't. You want to know what fucking triggered it, bro? Like fucking so right before we went to LA last month to do a bunch of interviews, you guys go back and watch the interview with Kamiyata, Young Bambi, and Drown Millie. Shout outs to all of them. We're back in LA doing interviews. Right before we left for LA, I started to notice I was getting like seriously depressed. And when I was in LA, like I was like so antisocial. And even Ben was like, bro, you're going to sleep mad early and shit. It's just like, yeah, all sorts of shit, but I was just getting mad depressed and mad antisocial. And it's just like I did a shroom trip last week, fucking, and it really just opened up my mind. And I love psychedelics. I really do. It is just like, but I feel like I needed to do that shroom trip because it made me realize that you really need to get help, bruh. And like after that shroom trip is when I texted my dad. I was like, yeah, I need to see somebody type shit. And me and my parents, we're building on our relationships and shit. I'm not dependent on them or anything, but they help me point me in the right direction and shit. But fucking, so yeah, it's just like I'm kind of I didn't even believe in like therapy or seeing a therapist. I'm like, you just talk to your friends, bro. You know what I mean? But it's not like that all the time. So it's like I guess I'm saying this to kind of encourage everybody that kind of needs it to go get it. You know what I mean? I
agree completely, bro. And the thing is like I used to get discouraged because I was the same way because I've been going to psychologists my whole life. Like I told you pre-interview that like the first time I ever went to a psychologist was I was probably like 8 years old. But the thing is like it's very hard to find the right one, and that's super discouraging because like you'll go to a psychologist and like they just won't be the right one, and you'll think like, well, I tried. And so and your depression does that to you, bro. Like it makes you think like, okay, I tried, like it's not gonna work out. But like once you find, the thing is like these people have gone to like school to learn about this shit, and they've done it. Not all of them, but a lot of them do this because it's their passion. They genuinely enjoy like trying to help people get through this shit, and they went to school and they've studied like the human psyche and shit. And so like I've always said that talking to your friends is even better, is like the best therapy you can get. But that's not always the case because a lot of times your friends are going through the same shit you're going through. So like I definitely encourage people to get that mental health.
Agree. Yeah.
And social media and shit makes it hard, bro, because like toxicity is so promoted through social media nowadays, and it makes you envy that type of shit.
Definitely.
And so, but nah, like the thing is, bro, is like you're only gonna get worse before you get better. If you don't find a way to get better, you're just gonna get worse. And you can't and it goes back to like people who are genuinely depressed and genuinely anxious and have these problems. They don't enjoy that shit. It's not something that they wake up every day and they're like, man, I'm so cool because I'm fucking depressed.
Yeah, bro, there's some fake ass depressed people, bro, and this shit really be pissing me off, bro. It's just kind of like, I don't even know. Maybe I'm stereotyping too much, but I feel like it's these kids that really just kind of have it all right in life. That, you know what I mean? They're just kind of they're influenced by a lot of like certain aesthetics and shit like that, and they think it's cool to act that way.
No, but that doesn't mean that like kids who do come from good like families
don't
and shit,
get depressed. Exactly.
Right,
Everybody has issues, but I feel like it's the kind of the kids that do come from those good families and don't have that issue specifically.
No, you're
you know
right.
I mean?
They kind of like, the thing is like you can't consider yourself depressed just because things don't go your way. Like the mental illness is like I don't know how to explain it, bro. I really don't. Like there's no analog for it, but like mental illness tears you down. It doesn't give you an ego, and if you feel like your mental illness kind of gives you an ego, makes you feel like you're different than other people, then that's the fake depressed, bro. Like that's, and I hate saying fake depressed because you can never tell if someone is genuinely depressed or if they, but like it's just like I said, like these kids who constantly promote their like suicidal tendencies and shit, like those kids need help because that's a fucking mental illness on its own. But bro, you can't enjoy that shit. There's no such thing as fucking enjoying that shit, bro.
Enjoying feeling suicidal or enjoying.
No, bro. It's the worst feeling in the world, bro. So like, yeah, and it just goes back to what I was saying. Is like my only goal in this shit is to get better and like it's to fix myself. And I lose hope all the time, bro. It's super normal to lose hope. But the thing is like, that's where once you force yourself to like get through that loss of hope, there's always going to be some time where you're like you realize that you're like, you know, like this shit actually does have potential to get better. So yeah, I agree with you. I encourage anybody who like does go through that shit to get don't sit in it. Don't let that shit marinate in your head. No. Don't, bro. If you're doing the same thing over and over and over again and you haven't gotten better, you need to change something, bro. You need to do something fucking different. Like quit being such like, I hate to say it like this, like tough love, bro, but like stop having so much fucking self-pity and like do something about it. Because,
definitely.
And it's hard not to have that self-pity because you are the only person you have. But it's like that self-pity is gonna eat you alive, bro. Like, and I had to get through that, like the self-pity. I still have it sometimes. I still pity myself, but it's like it's so toxic.
It's also I also feel like there's some people who have that self-pity and there's some people who are too. And the other flip side of the coin, some people who are too prideful. Like that was where I was at, bro. I was too prideful to admit that I really like needed to fix some things in my life. I was way too proud of myself.
That's my dad, bro. My dad is a very prideful person, and it sucks because I see him tear himself down and shit. Whenever like I just wish that like he would put his pride to the side and get some help, but. I love you, Dad, if you're watching this, but I'm just being honest here. So
you got to, and you know what I mean. Anybody who hates honesty, you know what I mean. But anyways, fucking, I feel like drinking water too, bro. Drink some fucking water,
important, bro. So important. It doesn't fix everything.
I love
bro.
how we both just have fucking waters right now. Like,
I know, bro. I need to get on the gallon wave, bro. You probably save money.
Oh yeah, bro. That's like 79 cents, bro.
I got bougie with the alkaline water, bro, and I started, but like now I've been noticing that like there's actually a local business in Charlotte that sells.
I've seen 10 cell phones promoting them.
They sell alkaline
bit.
by the gallon, bro, and I'm like, I need to get on that, bro. Like, especially
I love that.
if
someone started a water
if I'm gonna be
business.
bougie with it, so
I'd love that someone started a water business out here. I think that's fucking great. I'd love to actually. I'm gonna look into them and probably look into having some bottles for the podcast and shit like that. Cause I think that's great,
bro.
Wholeheartedly.
Stop drinking all that fucking refined ass sugar and soda and shit, bro.
So listen. Soda's cool every once in a while, bro. But drinking soda even weekly, no.
Bro, your body is not meant for that much sugar, bro.
Bro, you seen the video? There was this dude, bro, who took a dead mouse, right, and put it in a Tupperware container of Mountain Dew, and the thing completely dissolved in like less than 5 days. Like the mouse completely just dissolved.
Mountain Dew is the worst one, bro.
Yeah,
it is the worst.
Like that
one,
shit
bro.
literally rots your insides.
No,
bro.
I saw the one with someone put, I think it was like a rusty nail inside of Coke, and it ended up like completely like not only did it get rid of the rust, but it ended up I don't know what the word is for whenever metal starts to deteriorate.
Like corrode?
Corrode, that's the word I was looking for. But it literally started corroding the stainless steel nail. So, like, bro, it's like... But not just that, bro. It's like we, as a country, like America, consumes so much sugar and not realizing that much sugar in your body has mental effects, too. And when you're constantly consuming all this just shitty-ass food, this fried, saturated fat spread, it's like... Bro, just drink water. You get what I'm saying. Just
I
drink
literally
water.
probably go through one of these a day. I'm not even gonna front. Like,
That's good though, bro.
Yeah.
That's literally, you're literally supposed to drink like 2.5 to 3 liters a day. Like that's how much.
See, here's the thing. I heard people used to be like 8 cups, and then I've also heard like now it's like drink till you pee clear type deal. Like I heard that. I don't know.
I think it always changes, bro.
I drink water when I'm thirsty. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Like fucking. But anyways, to wrap up this part 3 on specifically mental health. Admit when you have a problem. Get help. If you need to stop smoking weed, bruh, really have a conversation with yourself, bruh. Because we had a real conversation about weed, and I feel like a lot of people are still gonna watch this and disagree with us.
It's so, I feel, dude. I get insecure talking to people about like why you shouldn't smoke weed all the time because it's weird. It used to be cool to smoke weed, and now it's like people are like, wait, you don't smoke weed, and so it's so accepted now that
it's almost like weird when someone doesn't smoke weed.
Right, bro.
And here's the thing, we will probably both go back to smoking weed. Smoking weed is not bad, and drugs affect everybody differently. But when you have some shit you're going through in life,
you need to put everything down, bro.
You need to put everything down when it's serious, because being stressed out, smoking a joint at the end of the day, bro, that's not bad.
It's a great feeling. It really is.
But when you're having serious issues, you gotta put the joint down, bro.
For sure.
Seriously, gotta put the joint down.
For sure.
We got like 2 minutes left. You want to end on anything?
Fuck, man. I don't know. We've had a lot of good conversation. I don't really know what else I can say.
It's been an hour and a half interview, bro. We talked a lot.
Has it really?
Yeah, it's gonna drop in 3 parts though. 30 minutes each part.
That's fucking crazy.
We talked a lot, yo.
Ultimately, just like, I think that the one thing I want to say, because it's something I struggle with, like while getting off of this shit, is that like don't let social media think that like you're not gonna be successful in what you do, and especially seeing people younger than you, like, have more success is like, it's like, bro, like we were just talking about this, like everybody has their own journey with shit, and I don't know, it sounds corny, bro, but it's just facts. Like, you can't let social media like affect your self-esteem and how you feel about yourself, and if it does, you need to put that shit down. And ultimately, like, self-love is the most important thing, bro. Overall, like, it's super important to just like love yourself and love what you're doing. And if you don't love what you're doing, find something that you do love.
That's facts, bro. Because there's people with billions of dollars and millions of followers that are depressed as fucking hate themselves.
But you won't see it because people on social media only post
only the highlights.
Only the highlights, bro.
So. And then there are people who literally don't have social media who are the happiest fucking people on the
Swear
planet. Who live in a shack in the fucking mountains, bro.
Swear to God.
Happiness is malleable. Success is literally happiness. I just want to say that. Put that out there. Put that energy in the air. But, bro, thank you for coming on.
No, I appreciate you having me, bro, for real. This is my first interview, by the way.
Yeah,
so
we've done a lot of those, bro. And I really feel blessed to have a lot of first interviews. So,
and I got my name on the table now. So.
Deep October has signed the table.
Yep.
You guys are going to get a picture of that soon. But follow us on Instagram at kultclassicofficial. Hit us on Twitter at kultclassicoff, and then TikTok at kultclassicofficial. And then hit up the website, bro. Cop yourself a shirt, cop yourself a hat, because the more you guys share this, subscribe, cop some merch, the more we can do cool shit like interview Deep October. So do all that shit.
Support them, bro. They do a lot of shit for small artists in Charlotte. Well, not just Charlotte. I mean, you gotta do a lot of shit for small artists in general.
Bro. We started out in Charlotte and trying to expand.
I wouldn't have done this interview if I didn't believe in cult classics. So that's a big
brother.
deal.
Then hit me on the gram, BOYDEE on the beat, and then hit Deep October at Father Funeral. Yeah, that's really it. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's been interview number 34. Peace.
Sick, bro.